good evening, and welcome to a Night of Heroes, 2020 style. We are virtually live with you this evening, and we're so excited that you're here. We hope you have all watched Isabella's story. It's the reason you're joining us here tonight. And if you have any problems accessing any part of this evening, you can call the number on your screen. We'll repeat it over and over. We all want you to join us by phone and in person in your living rooms as we are here for Night of Heroes. Isabella, our hero of this evening, is safely at home with her family, and all of her Valleywise family is watching as well. So settle in, grab a glass of whatever you use to celebrate with, and don't miss a second. We're only going to take an hour of your time this evening. So we promise you a very impactful and important, meaningful hour. We also promise that you will leave happy. And we're betting that you could really use a happy hour right now, because these are unique times here in Phoenix, across our country, and around the world. A lot of shops and restaurants are closed. Kids are home from school, and their parents are juggling their jobs and their kids' lesson plans. And everyone is thinking about staying safe, staying home, and washing their hands. We're doing what needs to be done, like we always do, and we're not really sure how long we're going to have to do it this way. We are all sure, though, that we're going to keep a safe distance from many people that we love. But our healthcare workers and our first responders, they are working elbow to elbow, and they're doing it overtime. It's because of heroes like those that Night of Heroes was born. The Valleywise Health Foundation is the nonprofit 501c3 that supports the programs at Valleywise Health. Many of the doctors and nurses who are out there working right now on the front line in Arizona and around the country got their training and education at Valleywise. It's the only public teaching system in the state, and it serves everyone. 3 years ago, the chairman of the Valleywise Health Board wanted to honor some special patients, the heroes who had recovered from their injuries and created a ripple effect in our community, endless circles of giving back. Chairman Mark Dwayne's idea was a really good one, and we've done it now every year. Many of you have already been a part of one at the Phoenix Art Museum. You've brought your friends and your neighbors to share the mission and help fund the needs of Valleywise Health. Because we cannot gather in person this year, we are bringing you tonight's event with a little bit of help. Thank you tonight to AEI, Ballard Spar, Clear Title, Cunningham Architecture, East Valley Firefighters Charities, Gallagher and Kennedy, Goodman's, Inspired Media 360, JP Morgan Chase, SRP, and Tito's Handmade Vodka. Our community leader sponsors are a big part of our support team. They include the District Medical Group and Team Vanner. Kitchell Contractors is our Arizona Legacy sponsor. Our Valley partner tonight is Oakland Construction. And our hero presenting sponsor is Cunningham Law Firm. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Tonight, this event is truly one of a kind, and we couldn't have done it without you. We do hope you have all watched Isabella's short film. If you haven't, or later you want to share the story of this wonderful girl with your friends and family after you learn more about the Arizona Burn Center, we do encourage you to do so. Share it often. But remember, we are here now, and we only will be live for an hour. The Arizona Burn Center is a huge part of a 4-year all-in campaign at the Valleywise Health Foundation. When we were planning this event months ago, our world and yours were very different. The Arizona Burn Center is known around the world, and by definition, it serves the needs of every person who comes through its door. Valleywise right now is truly living its mission. That mission? Provide exceptional care without exception, every patient, every time. The healthcare team at Valleywise is on the front lines of the COVID-19 crisis, and we're very grateful for their hard work. Valleywise always steps up to take on the most critical needs in our community, and now is certainly no exception. Please welcome Valleywise Health President and CEO Steve Purvis to tell us how his team is doing.
Good evening. We're so very grateful that you've connected with us tonight. While our program tonight focuses on the heroic work of our Arizona Burn Center, I wanted to also take a moment to update you on the amazing work that our employees are doing in responding to this COVID-19 pandemic. I'm incredibly proud of the work of the entire Valleywise Health team, especially our frontline troops, our nurses, our physicians, our respiratory therapists, and everybody involved in the clinical care. They're really showing their exceptional, compassionate care that we've been known for frankly, over 140 years. A few developments that I'm particularly proud of during this pandemic. We were one of the first hospitals in our state to develop in-house testing for COVID-19 diagnostic tests. We're also standing up our telehealth capabilities. We started from nearly 0 telehealth visits to over 9,000 today in a few short weeks. We're using telehealth to get education videos in 10 different languages for the refugee community, and today we've had over 63,000 views. We've also been extra vigilant about the use of our supplies, our PPE or our personal protective equipment, and we're using best practices to make sure that we're getting the right supplies to the right people at the right time. I want to thank our amazing employees for how they stepped up to the plate and provided that selfless service that you often hear about, but I've seen firsthand how that actually plays out in a clinical setting, and it's just amazing. I also want to thank the overwhelming support that we've received from the community as we've tried very hard to flatten the curve with social distancing. They've also provided a number of just small things that make a big difference, like meals for our nurses and our physicians. So I can't thank the community enough. So just 2 months ago, on February the 26th, we celebrated the long-awaited groundbreaking of our new hospital campus, including a new state-of-the-art Arizona Burn Center. That work continues today. While we focus on the immediate emergency needs to address COVID-19, we also look forward to a return to a new normal and opening the doors in 2023. I'd like to share some scenes from that day and a view into our new Arizona Burn Center with the following video. Thank you so much for being with us and being connected with us tonight.
The Arizona Burn Center is one of the largest burn centers in the country, and the Valleywise Health Foundation has been really instrumental over the years in helping us provide things for our patients and their families based on what they need and not what they can afford.
Nothing defines a community more than how we respond to the needs of the people when they're sick, they've been hurt, and they need help that they can't otherwise provide for themselves. Our community shows what its character is all about by the way they support our community hospital. Valleywise has done a tremendous job, but they can't do it alone. They're integral to our community, and the community needs to be integral to the success of the hospital.
We're completely rebuilding our public teaching healthcare system. From our acute care hospital, including the Arizona Burn Center, we have clinics across the valley, and we have 3 mental health hospitals, all being rebuilt to teach the next generation of doctors and nurses, also treat some of the folks that are facing some of the biggest challenges in life.
The new burn center and hospital is not only going to help me, but also other burn survivors, and the burn center will get its own whole floor. It'll have rooms for families, it'll have gyms, and more room to add recovery, and it'll be a brand new building.
The new Arizona Burn Center is going to be one of the largest burn centers in the United States. It is going to be the state-of-the-art, the epitome, the burn center that is really going to allow us to take care of burn patients, not only acutely, but long-term.
We're building a brand new hospital and a brand new burn center, but the money that's been raised for that through Proposition 480 here in Arizona only gets us to brick and mortar. The burn center needs so much more in terms of equipment, space for research, patient care beyond the hospital. All of those needs are being met in part through the contributions we're getting through the foundation. So we fill the gap between what the hospital has and what it needs. We want to take the best medical professionals in the field of burn care and give them what they need to succeed and excel. And I don't know what could be more rewarding than giving back to a community hospital that's helping so many people.
We really need to get behind these places, especially in cities like Phoenix that are growing so rapidly. And if you want any kind of social or economic resiliency, you have to have a healthy and resilient community, and I don't know how you do that without supporting the places that support those people. I'm really thankful for the way the community continues to step up so that we can continue to build a healthier Arizona and teach the doctors and nurses that we do here. So thank you to all of you.
Hey everybody, it's Letitia Fry, the America's foremost auctiontainer, and most of you know me from jumping all over stages all over the United States. But tonight, I have the honor and the pleasure of being right here in the comfort of your own home. So I want to give a shout out to the platform we're using right now, Dr. Linda and Dana Hansen, who developed FunDuel, and that is what you've got in front of you, a duel. And I can tell you, I'm already looking over there. We're already at $28,165, and I haven't even started explaining how we duel. So here is how we duel. First and foremost, there's about a few things that you're going to want to get to duel. So here we go. What's the first thing? Carrie kind of mentioned this a little, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I want you to go grab your favorite glass of wine, your cocktail, your sparkling water, your coffee, whatever floats your boat, okay? Second of all, we want you to have something good to eat, and hopefully you went out and actually supported either Tarbell's or Steak 44 because they've done so much for Valleywise Health, and we want to thank them for that. Third, it's a magic little card known as a credit card, and I want you to go get that. And if you're anything like me, when you get your credit card and it's a tiny card with tiny numbers, then you're going to need that fourth item, and that's your readers. That's pretty much what I would need right now. So once you have those four things, let's talk about the fifth. So you're home right now and you're watching me. It could be on a PC. It could be on an Android phone, it could be on any smartphone, it could be on an iPad, it could actually, my son last night airdropped us into a widescreen TV. That was horrifying. But anyway, how you're watching us, what you're gonna need is your phone. And first let me explain why, okay? Because as you're watching me right now on your screen, right underneath me is a red button called Donate Now. And under there are three icons. One of them that says copy link, one of them that says Facebook, and one of them that says Twitter. But let's get to one of the immediate problems with technology. See, this is a new platform. And if you go back to 2016 and you're like me and you're still stuck in the old days, you're using Internet Explorer on your PC. That's not gonna work. Although that's only 4 years ago, in the technology world, that's kind of like a century ago, okay? So you're gonna actually have to use Safari, or you're gonna have to use things like Google Chrome or Foxfire, things like that. You know, the more up to date. Ask your teens if you don't know what I'm talking about. So here's the thing, the donations work like this. The Donate Now button, for the simplest way to do it, is if you want to donate now, you're going to be taken into the teams. You're going to see 17 amazing teams. For those of you that already saw the movie with Isabella, they're named after the different emotions and the different human aspects. So like courage or hope, or in my sense, and I'm going to give a plug to Vanning and myself, I'm on Team Community. Hint, hint, Team Community. Competitive person. So here's the thing, those teams are going to come up. You're also going to recognize some of the most amazing sponsors that you've just heard Carrie go through. So if there's a sponsor on there like SRP or Tito's Handmade Vodka or whatever it is, whatever reason you feel attached to that team, join them. Then here's what you do. If you want to do the simplest way, you go down to the button that says copy link and you can just email it to some friends. And your team page will just email out and they can donate. It's that simple. Or you can actually email it to yourself, copy the link and text it. Text it out to your friends. It's that simple. Now, if you want to go a little bit more technologically advanced into social media, click on Twitter, click on Facebook, and you can actually send it out to them, your link, for people that are not here. We got almost close to 300 people that are actually logged on at this minute watching us, but I'm also going to cover something else I haven't told you. See, we actually decided to just go completely live on YouTube Live. So if you're watching me on YouTube Live right now and you're not part of this duel, you need to get on www.valleywisehero.org so you can get in on this. But if you want to watch us, that's fine because we're making history. So here's the point. The next thing that you want to do when you're out there doing that is something even more advanced. And this is what I did earlier. You can actually go to the blue button that you're going to see basically to the right if you're looking at me right now. And the blue button is, do you want to welcome to the challenge? And here's what it's going to ask you to do. Don't give money first. Go on there, fill it out, and upload a photo. Come on, I'm challenging you. Are you in your pajamas right now where Carrie and I are actually all dressed up? Or you have a photo that you've been dying for the world to see that you actually photoshopped a long time ago? I don't care. Load it up. Once you do to go to share it, it's going to give you an opportunity to donate. And then not only can I see your picture right here with the team, I can actually call you out in person live and interact with you, shout out to whatever you were wearing and how much you gave. It's that simple or that advanced. It's up to you. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fun Duel. Welcome to the Valleywise Health Foundation Night of Heroes. Now you know how to duel and what to do to duel. I'm going to toss it back to my friend Carrie Dozer so she tells you why we duel.
Thanks, Tish. Okay, so this is new, right? The virtual event thing that we're doing, and Tish and I are sort of old dogs, and this is a new trick. So, two people that we neglected to mention off the top, Vizient and Rethink, community leaders who are helping us put this event on. And once again, this is a first, so thank you, because we are new at this. All right, this is new, but social distancing is not new, right? So that is why we are keeping our distance from each other in this studio and why you are joining us at home. So Tish and I are dressed up. Hopefully you are more comfortable than we are. And our heroes are also comfortably socially distant at home, right? They are staying safe and are, home or at the office. So let's check in. The two heroes of our evening tonight, Isabella McCune, the subject of our short film that hopefully you watched, and her doctor, Kevin Foster. Let's check in with them from a little earlier today. And we have Isabella McCune herself and Dr. Foster with us on this Night of Heroes. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
It's a little strange to be having an event like this, so thanks for joining me from your office and from your kitchen for our virtual Night of Heroes. This is the way we're all getting together these days. So Dr. Foster, I'm going to start with you. As a burn surgeon at Valleywise Health, you deal with people under stressed conditions every day and people fighting infections. What has your experience throughout this entire COVID-19 situation been, and how is Valleywise helping our community health at this time?
Right. Well, our hospital is well prepared for this crisis. We saw it coming, and our leadership has worked really hard to stay out in front of it. And indeed, we are ready. In fact, we're more than ready. At the same time, we still have to do business as usual. People are still getting burned, and so the burn center is open and operating. And we're being extra vigilant because, as you know, burn patients are really susceptible to infections, and COVID-19 is no exception. So we're taking great care, and so far we've had no COVID-19 positive patients, and hopefully it stays that way.
Yes, we hope so. Isabella, in the movie about your story that we all saw, your mom said that on the day of your accident, you were very concerned about when you could go back to school again. What was it like when you went back to school for the first time? And what is it like now that you can't go to school like everybody else and you have to do school at home?
Well, the first day when I went back to school, it was very fun, and it was nice to see all my friends from third grade, and it was nice to meet new kids that went to our school. And it's kind of weird now that we have to do school at home because it's all like we have to do virtual class meetings, and we have to do all of our work on the computers, and it's just a new thing that we have to start to get used to.
Yeah, well, you've gotten used to a lot. So you just watched the movie about your story. What is it like to watch yourself in the movie, and is it hard to watch some of the more painful parts?
Some of the parts are kind of harder to watch, but it's nice to watch the movie and see how they got it, made it so perfect, and it all looks like goes perfectly together.
A lot of things have been perfect. Dr. Foster, when you met Isabella, you saw her in a very different state than she's in now. Obviously, you deal with a lot of patients who've gone through a lot. Did you ever imagine that you would be sitting here talking to this girl today, a girl that's been back to school, a girl that's climbing mountains, a girl that's just a pretty typical, active preteen girl?
Yes, I did expect that we would do this at some point in time, but there were some really dark days when this day seemed a long, long ways away, maybe even impossible. I think that throughout her hospitalization, everybody kept their eyes on the prize, and eventually we got there. Here we are today. So yes, good ending.
Isabella, when you watch the movie, and there are some parts with video in it that show you going through some painful procedures, and I listened to Taylor Swift on the way here because I was thinking about you listening to Taylor Swift, going through those things that you were going through. Is it hard for you to watch those moments of pain?
Sometimes it's harder to watch those moments because it just brings back memories of when that was happening. And but most of the time it's okay because I know that that was in the past and now I can focus on today.
Obviously, you're getting used to a lot of new things. Do you have any more pain? Do you consider yourself completely healed?
Yeah, mostly I'm completely healed, but in some parts, some parts we still have to go through surgeries in the future maybe, but for the most part, I'm healed. I can.
Do you like to go back to the hospital and visit with other kids in the burn unit?
Yeah, it's fun to go back to the hospital and be able to visit other people there because I know that I can be able to tell them that it'll be all right and they can get through it.
What do you tell them when they have those bad days? I know you've talked about a lot of your bad days, and Dr. Foster remembers them too. What do you say to them when they're in pain, when they're scared and they're crying?
Try to focus on the happy things try to focus on like things that make you happy. So like if you like swimming, then try to focus on you being able to go swimming in a really big pool or something that makes them happy.
One of the most emotional moments in the movie, at least as I watched it, was when you were talking about your dad and about seeing your dad in the hospital for the first time, because he obviously felt so terrible about what had happened. Can you tell me about that moment, what it was like to see him come in the room and finally be able to talk to him after so long?
It was amazing to be able to talk to him and see him and be able to just know that he's okay and that he can be with me when I'm like in the hospital, and it was just very like an amazing moment.
I think a lot of dads who are watching think they couldn't possibly go through that with their daughter because dads and daughters have a very special bond. What is your relationship like with your dad now?
My relationship is still amazing with my dad. We still are close, and we still like to do a lot of dad and daughter things. Like sometimes we would just go out and maybe get like Starbucks or go and get something so we can help work on my dad's car, something like that. And we still like have just an amazing bond.
Are you good at working on Dad's car?
Yeah, we like recently we actually took out a bunch of parts on the dashboard to see what was wrong with the stereo, and it ended up nothing was wrong with the stereo. So we just took apart the whole dashboard and we cleaned it, and then we put it all back together.
Oh my gosh, you're going to create your own future for yourself. I love this. As you went through this in the hospital, you and Dr. Foster obviously got very close as well. What's your relationship like with Dr. Foster, and when you think of him, what comes to mind?
My relationship with Dr. Foster, I feel, is we have a very close bond from everything that I had to go through and everything that he helped me with in the hospital. And I feel that we just like are very close. So when I think of him, I think of how he always helped me and how he helped me get through this.
Dr. Foster, the reputation of the Arizona Burn Center is already tops. People around the world already know about it. With a brand new building and a brand new facility, how will life change for you? Is there a special goal you have in mind in terms of being able to help more patients or help patients do different things and achieve even better outcomes?
Right. So the success of the Arizona Burn Center, Valleywise Health, is really due to the amazing team that we have. I'm one small part of a much larger, really tremendous team. And one of the difficulties that we face right now is that we've grown to be very large, and we now occupy multiple different places in the hospital. And the one thing that is really going to be the greatest about this new facility is that everything is going to be in one place. We are all going to be together in one place, and that's really going to help us facilitate there. The other thing that we're doing is we're really focusing on long-term patient care, not just taking care of patients immediately after they've been injured until they're released from the hospital, but continuing to take care of them throughout their entire convalescence until people are back to as close to normal or to normal as possible. And I think our new facility is really good.
Isabella, do you mind going back to the burn center for tune-ups?
No, I don't mind because I love to just see everybody. I love to talk with everybody and talk about things that I've been able to do lately, or talk about cool things that they've been able to do.
Hopefully you'll be able to be there for the ribbon cutting when the brand new building is open. I'm going to finish with you, Isabella. I'm just going to ask you really quick if throughout all this you have a hero. Do you have a hero in your life?
Well, I feel like I have a lot of heroes, and I have many heroes at the burn center, and they're like my second family. And I have I feel like I just have many other heroes.
Yeah, well, you're a hero for a lot of them as well. Dr. Foster, thanks so much for joining us. We know you're busy helping a lot of people out every day, just like always. And Isabella, thank you for joining us. You're a hero. You're a pretty cool kid.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, that was awesome. Thank you, Carrie Dozer, so much. And if you're not touched like I am about Isabella's story, Dr. Foster, it's amazing. And if you haven't seen that movie, it is on YouTube, and you can go see it later on. But now's the time that we're really here for. It's time to duel. So the whole point of me being live here with you is not just so I can interact or just simply stand here and talk to you. I can actually participate with you. For example, in a completely separate room, thanks to the ingenuity of Inspired Media 360, Carrie Pena and her team, they created this before COVID-19 happened, and I am nowhere near, can barely even see Carrie Dozer, and I have a teammate, Jeff, in the other room who's able to communicate with me by you communicating with him. I got Michaela all the way across the room that when you're actually taking pictures, she can let me see them, and I can already call you out. For example, Courtney Bennett, I saw your picture, nice shot for that Tito's team. So let's talk about a few more people that I can call out. Right now, I happen to know that Liz, thanks for the $1,500 donation, Liz, way to go. Liz gave. Okay, Clement, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, $500, and Amanda gave $20, and Connie just gave $100. That's what we're kind of talking about here. So right now, here's what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about why we're doing this, okay? So if you originally listened to Carrie about what we were supposed to be doing here, look, it was supposed to be the Valleywise Health Foundation Night of Heroes, and it was supposed to go to the burn center. But because of COVID-19, the monies will be split. So let me explain to you why. For those of you that are not in Arizona, because I happen to know a lot of you are watching from different areas in the United States, let's talk about what Prop 480, we know what it is, but you don't. It was a government proposition that was passed so that we would have the funding necessary to take Valleywise Health hospitals, which basically is our public healthcare system, and take their buildings from 1970s and update them into actual state-of-the-art buildings today. Problem is, that's brick and mortar. What's going inside of them, like at the Arizona Burn Center, that's up to us, and I'm going to explain that more. But let's talk about what COVID-19, and again, this is live TV, so just bear with me. I don't use notes. Those of you that know me, I volunteer for my clients, and I did that a year and a half ago before any of this. So let's just get into this. What has this meant, COVID-19, to Valleywise Health? Here's what it's been. Basically, we're losing $2 million a day. In the month of March alone, it was a 31,000% decrease in a net patient income. What does that mean? They lost $18.9 million in 1 month. What does it mean for next month? We're projected at $17 million. So you take the fact that we have a burn center that's being built state of the art, but we don't have anything to put in it. And then you take the fact of what we're up against COVID-19, and we're going to share these monies. And here's the deal. That's why we're here. And that's why we're FundDuel here. But here's my best part. I have a great friend named Gail Stallings who used to say, what's the first word in fundraising? I'd say fun, but guess what? What's the first rule or word, I should say, in FundDuel? It's fun. So have a good time with this. We're already at $34,915 and I haven't even started. So what I'm known for when I volunteer for my clients is actually basically getting educated. Although I'm going to call out different denominations just like I would on a stage. This is basically paddles up, it's an ask, it's St. Jude, they call it give to live. So the point being this, all right, and Taryn Norley just emailed us and donated. Hey, Taryn Norley, by the way, that's the ALS Foundation of Arizona. So that's other nonprofits supporting this nonprofit. Way to go. It's about partnerships. So let's get into this. Let's talk about my first denomination at $10,000. And I'm going to give a little bit about what that would do for the Arizona Burn Center and what it would actually do in the COVID-19 crisis. And again, these are examples of what your money does, okay? I want to get into that $2 million loss, and I also want to get into what we need to put in the building. So let's start out what would do. I'm going to talk about what's called compassionate care. For those of you that don't understand, compassionate care is built into an emergency way to apply to the FDA to turn something around that's not actually approved for use for a certain patient. And I'm going to give you an example. Kristen Lipinski. She's an actual real-life patient that came into the Arizona Burn Center, but she didn't come in with what is technically a burn, severe wound, necrotizing fasciitis, otherwise known as flesh-eating bacteria. When she came in, the burn unit doctors knew very well that the spray skin that they use on so many other patients, which is FDA approved to do that, this particular patient with her wounds, it was going to work great. So Valleywise Health and the Arizona Burn Center was able to apply to the FDA for compassionate care, and it was a 24-hour turnaround, and Kristen is doing fantastic. And by the way, she's a teacher here in Peoria, Arizona. So let's get down to what that actually cost. See, even if they donate that spray skin, the problem is this. Administrating it, monitoring it, and reporting it is not ever covered by insurance. That $10,000 would help a success story, just like Kristen. But what does it mean during COVID-19 crisis? I'm not sure what's going on in other states, but here in our state, it was mandated that every single hospital were to do 50%, double the beds that went into their hospital. So what does that mean for Valleywise? 183 beds, again. So 183 beds at approximately $1,800 a bed, $329,400. And P.S., I'm not using notes. And those of you that know me, I'm just talking to you, and I'm talking with you because I care, because I've seen it, and I know that you will care with me, but I want to educate you on what it is that we can do. So think about that, 103 extra beds, and that's government mandated, and we had to do it. What else? What's going on? Well, the CDC actually came out and said one of the best things that a hospital can do to combat this virus is to actually make sure that they decompress the air and pressurize the rooms. So what have we done? All right, that meant in preparation for the actual patients coming in for COVID-19, we actually have to change the HVAC system. That's $4,500 to $5,000 per room. We've already done 8. A donation of $10,000 would let us actually upgrade that room. And why is it important that that air is contained like that? Because then you're not less likely to actually spread the virus. What about those people that Carrie mentioned earlier? You and I are staying 6 feet apart, social distancing. What about the docs? What about the nurses? What about that patient in there? Actually pressurizing those rooms is helping them actually to get a better chance of coming through this without contracting the virus. I want to tell you that Valleywise Health and what I've experienced with them is that they really are, outside of being a literal teaching hospital with actually 3 hospitals and 11 clinics, what they are more importantly is they're leaders. For us here in Arizona, they lead the way in so many different ways. So I don't know. I kind of feel like a challenge, all right? I called out $10,000. And many times in a ballroom, that might seem like a lot, but I always say if I don't ask, I don't know. So I'm going to take a second here and banter a little bit, and let's check in on some people. Let's see if I can challenge one of you in the fun duel, see where it goes, and see if anyone out there will give $10,000. Those are 3 examples of what it can do. But let's take a look about what's going on. Betsy Bayless just donated. Thank you, Betsy. Lynn Page. How about Kayla? Marcy White. And guess what? Sue and Bill Byron, I know that you can't actually tell me this, but because you can see me, I know that you just gave $250. So let's check in on our teams. We're now at $39,115 in this duel. I'm only maybe about 4 minutes into my program. We're going to do this in an hour. And we actually are about, maybe about 16 minutes left in this part. Are you having fun? Because I hope you are. And if you tell me that and you're having fun and you start sending me pictures, I can start calling you out. This is interactive. It's not just me hanging out with you. It's you hanging out with me. So let's take a look. I got Michaela over there. Michaela, let's take a look at what team is going on here now. I've got Community. Oh, hey, that's my team. Hey, gang, how are you? Community is actually sponsored by Vanner. And by the way, that's actually a total group of people that are actually building all of these buildings in the Arizona Burn Center and helping out Valleywise Health. So let me tell you something, Team Vanner. Linda Henson. Oh, Linda Hanson is Dr. Linda Hanson, and she is the co-founder of FunDuel. Thanks for the hot picture, babe, and thanks for the donation. Also, Melanie Campbell did, and hey, by the way, Melissa Glissmeyer, who's one of my fellow and colleague auctioneers, nice dog pick, girl, nice donation. And then, of course, Jamie Evans, I love you, Panda shout out, girl. Thanks for the beautiful picture as well as that donation. And Anna Marie Aha, happy birthday, girl. I know today is your birthday and you should be here with us, but because we're COVID-19 compliant, we can't. Nice picture of you and your hubby. And of course, my girl, Subin Wadsworth. Subin, I love you. Thank you so much for the beautiful picture. And that's just a test in with my team. Again, a little plug for Team Community. But we're going to be testing out more people's Compassion and DMG. Joyce, Melissa, and Sunshine from the foundation, they're all on there. Love the pictures, loving what you're wearing, loving what I'm seeing. And by the way, Bill and Lenore, you just gave $2,500. Dee Dee gave $500, and Michael R. just donated. Can you get this? So not only am I here, I'm here with you. And I'm going to get emotional because that's who I am. And people that know me know that the reason I volunteer is because I'm going to get in this. And we're at $41,165. And I'm sorry, we're going to set history here tonight, and you're a part of that. You're a part of that. So that $10,000 value, I'm going to skip down to $5,000. And I'm getting a text that's sent through right now that, I'm sorry, someone actually just anonymously gave $5,000. Congratulations to the team, Courage Rising. Gallagher and Kennedy just got $5,000 donated to them right now. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our first major single donation of a large denomination, and we're popping up. So let's talk about it. What would $5,000 do? What does it mean? So I want to talk about when I volunteered long before COVID-19. I actually got a chance to hang out with a great man named Derek. Derek actually oversees all of the different therapies that happen at the Arizona Burn Center. And here's the deal. He's actually also a licensed physical therapist. And he was telling me why these treadmills that they want to bring in are so important. So let's talk about it. I'm a runner. I have a treadmill. But why would that matter to someone who's just been burned like Isabella over 65 to 70% of her body? Here's why. And P.S., they need 8 of them. And 5,000 would actually help us with that. But here is the deal. When a burn, and I don't like to say victim, I like to say survivor, because that's what this is about, even warrior. But when a burn warrior is in the initial days of shock, pain, going through everything, it's actually the most critical time to enlist exercise. Here's why, and I learned this from the doctors. If you watch a burn over a joint like this, that actual scar is starting to contract so hard in those first initials that if you don't get on there and move that joint, you're not going to have your range of motion back. You're just not. The other thing about this is the devastation that these individuals go through is astronomical, just like Isabella. So if we can get them to actually start self-care, like actually wanting to get up and exercise and be a part of it, what is that doing? It's giving them a chance at self-empowerment, and how about some self-esteem? This is a huge part of it. So that's an example of, I say treadmills, Letitia, why does it count? Well, it counts a lot, and it helps a lot to have your range of motion back, as well as your self-centered, and sort of the idea of who you are. So let's talk about that. But what does it also mean outside of that? See, it would give 25 hours and 25 people the chance to have that physical therapy. Do you know that they get 1,000 inpatient there and 6,000 outpatient? See, this isn't just something you do while you're in there. You come back and do it there. And why is that important? Why is that important? So let's see, have any of you worried about infection right now? I mean, would you go to your average gym right now? So here's the thing. I just want to tell you this. They get to come in not only to a sterile environment and with people. Would you be staring at someone that's covered in burns from head to toe? There's a sense of community that's going on. And here probably comes one of the most exciting parts of this. The pediatric ventilators, all right? Let's talk about that. So we've all heard about ventilators right now. And here's the thing. You might not think that 4 ventilators sounds like a lot unless you're one of 4 people that can't have them that has COVID-19. So Valleywise Health took 4 pediatric ventilators, upgraded to software, and they actually created them from pediatric ventilators into universal ventilators, meaning they can be used for adult or kids. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? They were one of the first to actually do that. And 4 more ventilators, by the way, at a cost of $5,000 per ventilator. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what $5,000 could do. We already know that one of our teams got that. I'm going to challenge you right now. Think about it. $5,000. Is there another hero out here in our midst? By the way, this is called a Night of Heroes. And I know that you have learned that Isabella's a hero and Dr. Foster's a hero, and you've learned about so many other people, but in my opinion, you're the hero, not just them, because we need you to help them. So let's check in. Lori D gave $500, Paula K, $100, Ashley R, $50. But let's take a look at some of these actual, here we go, confidence. Tito's, Tito's Handmade Vodka's in the house. I know I already shouted out Courtney, she's got her photo, but here we go. So there's actually photos on this team. There's IO photos. So video from Nicholas Ashmore. Nick, I love you. Karen Fortin actually just jumped on there. Karen, way to go. She actually works for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. See how other nonprofits are actually helping this nonprofit? That is the dream I've waited for my entire life. The synergy for those that help each other, because that's what's happening right now. If you don't think that COVID-19, it's not a state problem, it's not a city problem, it's not a US problem, it's a world problem. And as much as we can't be together right now, we're coming together more than ever. These are the people that gave. Michaela and Jeff on confidence as well. Thank you so much. We love you, Courtney. Listen, Courtney is actually one of my mentees. I love her to death. But let's take a look at our total, $55,275. What about Clear Title's team called Heart? All right, the CEO, Nate. That's the CEO of our own Foundation. The CEO of Valleywise Health Foundation, Nate Lowry, in the house with a pitcher. I did not know you were that technologically savvy, Nate. We're going to talk about that later. Most likely over Tito's. Just kidding. Maybe not. Anyway, here you have Stephanie and Ed Olson, the Rethink Advertising. I want to thank you so much. That picture is awesome. And Marianne Swift, Gifford is watching. Get this. Hold on. She's from Vista, California. Welcome. Cali's in the house. Here we go. What are we at now? 55,275. And here comes an important next level. All right? You can be giving in any denomination, but it's my job to educate you on what your dollars do at each level. So let's talk about $2,500 because this is important. I told you about the 25 visits, the 25 patients. Well, let's also talk about biceps, triceps. Look, I'm not a fan of it. I'm a runner. I'm not much of a gym person, but this is an imperative part of not only actually getting those joints and those scars to contract to make it easier also for skin grafts, but we need biceps and triceps, and we need 3 of each, a total of 6. $2,500 would help us do that. It's more about a sense of community. I mean, I already said it. Do you know how different it is to just look physically different, feel physically different, but know that you can come back and people like Derek are going to welcome you, and there are going to be other people that look like you, and they're going to understand what you're going through. That's what that would do. But here is the best part. Let's talk about COVID-19. Let's talk about why Valleywise Health is the leader in the way we do things. So here's the deal. Look, we've all been pivoting, and I know that actually Carrie Pena and I have actually said pivot, not panic, and a lot of you are using our hashtag. Thank you. So here's the deal. One of the pivots they did. When this first started out, there was what we call in-house testing and out-house testing, and basically you couldn't in-house test anywhere. And we did 88 in-house testings. What did that mean? That meant that 88 people, pretty sick, thinking they may or may not have COVID-19, waited up to 10 days to find out if they did. What happened in those 10 days? You know, we're limited on ventilators, we're limited on doctors and nurses, and people are exhausted. 10 days of exhausting them, is not necessary. Valleywise Health was one of the first hospitals in Arizona that actually switched to a 24-hour testing so that we could actually make better use not only of the time, the resources, the people, but the panic that the actual patient is in thinking, do I have this, do I not have this? And here's a huge announcement, because this actually went out on their Facebook page just a couple days ago. They actually are the only hospital in Arizona to what is actually be a part of what is called CEPHID, and it's actually let's see if I can get this, CEPHID Expert Express. That's right. And you know, by the way, again, I'm not using notes. Those of you that know me, I'm here. I've been inundated, and I'm just as stressed as the rest of you. And we're on live TV. So bear with me. Have fun with me. But CEPHID is how it's pronounced, and it's CEPHID Expertise Express COVID-19 Testing. What does that mean? 45 minutes. Turn around. But it is only available right now to the patients that are currently at Valleywise Health. Good choice in hospitals, by the way. But that's what I mean about leading the way. So here's the deal. Here's a part where this is where the heroes get to show you a little bit more of who they are. I'm sorry I'm getting choked up. It's because I know what's coming your way right now. So we're at the $2,500 level. And I just want to let you know, for those without a voice, the Tito's Confidence, $10,000. So you're telling me that someone just gave $10,000? Wow, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to explain. David and Carol Eaton, I want to thank you personally. You just gave $10,000. $10,000. Thank you so much. That is unbelievable. Courage Rising. Okay, it's game on now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the deal. $58,295. I hope your tissues are out. I probably should have told you to get that for the duel, and I probably should have told myself. I want you to take a look at what the doctors and the nurses and the security and the different officers decided what they wanted you to see right now as we learn why we rise up together through this crisis.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up,
Okay, so that song always gets me every time, but actually seeing them like that. For those of you that haven't seen the movie, and some of you have, you're going to see that Isabella's taken in and out of a corridor. That's the same exact corridor that's painted and actually chalked up with all those heroes as people that are going on the front lines every day. And that last medical assistant was Emily Smith. Thank you for having the wherewithal to give us the prayer moment in those wings. You'll see the rest of that video and more of our faces at the end of this duel. And again, I'm sorry, I'm just got caught up in that song. So let's see what's going on now. Now we're at the $1,000 level, and you know, there's so much coming in. We're at $58,695 with lots of time left here in our duel. So $1,000. And just so you know, this was a fundraiser, as Carrie Dozy told you earlier. And last year was the first time they did a text to give option at the night of, and 23 people gave $1,000 in that room. It's like 300 people there. That was 23,000. We have way over that participating now, so let's see if maybe more than 23 of you would consider this denomination of $1,000. But what does it do? For one incline bench, flat bench, they actually need 6 of each. That's, again, we're going to go back to that physical therapy, what it means not only in a medical way, but what it means in an emotional and a community sense. And actually, what does it mean for COVID-19? Well, this is the part where I kind of have to look away for a second. Patients actually can't have anyone visiting them. I don't know about you, but I've been seeing these videos of people that are fighting and their husband can't be there, their loved ones can't be there. They have no way to actually interact. And that would be the most isolating experience in the world while the rest of us are in a panic. That must be actually the ultimate panic. So what about webcams? What about giving them iPads? That's what Valleywise Health is doing so they can keep communicating with them. And by the way, gratitude in Oakland, Joanne Kaminsky, thank you so much for that donation. And just let you know that Tito's Handmade Vodka gave $500 more. Thank you so much for that, and keep it going. And I hope if you're at home, and listen, you can communicate with Jeff and you can communicate with Michaela. If you're enjoying this, if you're having fun, if you have questions for me, if you want to shout out, if you want to do any of it, bring it. We're interacting. This is called live streaming. It's not about me just talking to you. It's about you and I talking with each other. So let's keep going. $1,000. Look, have you seen goggles, gloves? You've been trying to get them? $1,000 is 40 goggles, and $1,000 is actually 20 gloves for those people that are on the front line. And by the way, I'm looking at the cutest picture of a woman and her dog. It is actually so cute. That bulldog is awesome. So keeping going from there. I hope you guys are having fun. You can give me shout outs. You can type it in right now. Tell me you're having a good time. It's Fun Duel. Again, Dr. Linda and Dana Hansen, thank you so much for being the co-founders of what I think is one of the coolest platforms. And then thank you so much to our team, because no one before this, even though it's been around since November, has live streamed it into your home so that we can interact with you. So keep interacting with me. I love it. So what would $500 do? You know, we already heard about 1,000. We've already heard about a lot of the different pivots. And so we want to talk about a program called SURF. Look, I've already mentioned this earlier. This is not just the Valleywise Health, which is a public healthcare system. It is a public healthcare teaching integrated system. And it's the largest of its kind, with 3 hospitals and 11 clinics. One of the actual programs that happens in the burn center that's taught has nothing to do with actual medical students. It has to do with undergrad students. Undergrad students that actually have an interest. It's an 8-week program with an acronym called SURF. And that actually means Surgical Undergrad Research Proficiency, or Fluency, I should forget, that's CF. So SURF, what does that mean? That means that for 8 weeks, about 12 of them go in, and they're actually taught about the research, and they're taught about actually not only to find the research, but how to actually present it. And then these kids, they're kids because they're undergrads, they actually go out and present it. And you know how many times those presentations were so good and the research was so cutting edge? They actually got published in research journals. They're undergrads. It's amazing. What also would it mean? Let's talk about IV fluids. We're talking about $500 right now. Think about before COVID-19 what $500 meant. I mean, a lot of us went and spent it on coffee or maybe a dinner, or maybe for a lot of people that was bills, but it's something altogether different. I don't think I'd ever be able to tell you what an IV fluid for a person would be for a day. But the truth of the matter is that an IV fluid, that's 25 people. And I'd like to tell you they're not patients. I mean, they are, but they're people. And one of the things about Valleywise is I'm big on knowing your why, not just your what. And one of the things that I noticed when I went out and spent the time with them, and I actually visited many different programs, you know, all the way from refugees and their program to the burn center, the teaching. And here's the thing I noticed the difference with them. I love our medical organizations around the country, but it's just common practice to sort of teach people for their own safety to get emotionally distant from their patient and to really see the disease and treat the disease. That's not the Valleywise way. The Valleywise way, which is access to everyone, is to see the person that happens to have the disease. And that's one of the big differences. So let's take it now. Scott Bro just donated $250. Kathy Page is at $100. But here we go. CRNA, Megan Ciccarelli, $250 for Team Community, and Vanner. Hey, that's my team. Keep it coming, Team Community. And like I said before, Vanner is the one that's actually building all of these buildings. So here we go. We're giving now, I'm at $61,065. Ladies and gentlemen, this has never been done. This has never been done. I'm in your home. We're on your TV. We're on your laptop. I'm on your phone, whatever that is. Please communicate with me. I want to communicate back with you. I hope that you're at home having that good glass of wine, or that your kids are involved and having lemonade. In fact, I'm going to give a shout out to my children, because I'm going to check in on my team, because I know that they both have actually airdropped their mom onto their 50-inch TV and then recorded it so that they can too both donate. They told me they wanted to actually donate their own money and send a picture. So Hunter and Duke, if you're watching, bring it. Mom's challenging you. And thanks for being good kids. So let's take a look now. Keep refreshing that page, Jeff, and let's see what's going on. What actually now, as we get down to these lower denominations, and I'm going to ask how we're doing on time here, Judy, too, because, you know, I'll be honest with you. They gave me 20 minutes to do this. And if I'm on a stage, you know, 20 minutes is pretty good. But to be honest with you, we're in your house, you know, and I've got 7 minutes left. I guess we can call this the 7-inning stretch, can we not? You know, this is kind of maybe where we all get up, shake around a little, get it going. I'm sure that Carrie Dozer might have a song for this, but hey. So let's talk about these smaller denominations. And Brian O'Malley, thanks for the $100, but here's the deal. Karen King Brooks, $1,500. I'm feeling you, Karen. Thank you so much. Tony Samora, Amanda Carnell, Casey Hartstock. Bring it, bring it, bring it. Shout it out to me. Show me your pictures. Bring up a team. I want to see it. I want to check in on my team. Let's check in on Team Community. I want to see if my kids have actually listened to their mom. We'll find out if it's true or not. By the way, it's my daughter's 18th birthday. We're on live TV. I have to say it. Happy birthday, baby. So here we go, $250. All right, we actually talk now, for example, about the teaching. That's actually for the professionals. Now we're at the professional level, and they get to actually take an advanced burn accrediting that is actually accredited by the American Burn Association, and actually do that. That's another reason why the Arizona Burn Center is the #1 burn center in the country. This is because they actually are absolutely certified at what they do. They care about what they do, but they are the best at what they do. And what else would that do actually for us? Well, here comes kind of the big moment, isn't it? That's 4 people that can have a COVID test. $250. Did you ever think that 4 people would have a COVID test? Would you even know what that meant? It's huge. Dedication. Cunningham Law Firm. That's our presenting sponsor. Our presenting sponsor, did they just give that now? Or they've actually done that before? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Cunningham Law Firm, which is Team Dedication, the presenting sponsor. Okay, here we go. John and Christy Farling is $500. The Bulldogs are $500. And just so you know, our presenting sponsor, they were $25,000 as a presenting sponsor. So huge shout out to them. Patrick Andler, $500. Katie Withkin, $100. I want to see some of these pictures. How about bringing those up, Michaela? Because I actually want to see what some of you look like when you're not all dolled up like we. Or maybe, if you were smart, you're giving me that photo that you just want everybody to see on the page. I think it's great. So keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen, as we're at $250 right now, and we're at $62,280 in our duel, and still going. And you got about 5 minutes left. I'm taking a look at a picture here. Let's see who we got. There's a good one. What's that going on over there, Michaela? Up the laying on the couch. I like it, and a dog's involved. You know what, Dr. Foster, really, laying on your couch with your dog, I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is actually the head of the Arizona Burn Center at Valleywise that actually shot himself in a picture of basically just hanging out with his dog on a couch all comfortable. We love you, Dr. Foster. So let's keep going. Let's get down to probably one of the most important levels that I've always said, $100. And here's where I'm actually going to get a little bit. And by the way, Greg Vogel for Team Gallagher and Kennedy, $5,000 just popped in. Way to go, Greg. I absolutely cannot thank you enough for that. So keep them coming. I want to see these pictures. I want to see more. I want to check in, if you could, Michaela. Let's check in on Team Community. I want to take a look and see if these pictures, let's see if my kids have. So family team, that's sponsored by SRP, Billy and, let's see, Bill and Lenore Johnson. Bill and Lenore Johnson, $2,500. Awesome. Keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's check in on my team. I'm seeing that Vanner actually posted it right in there. Okay, hey, there's my kids. Hey, look at that right now. I'm looking at my kids, Hunter and Duke. Job well done, sitting on the couch. A lot of dog hair involved. Keep them coming. I'm looking through at different team members. Hey, you know what? There are people that are actually out there. Oh my goodness. I just saw a picture right now. I've got Eve Rojas. You know she lives in Kansas City, Missouri, ladies and gentlemen. Kelly Lee Walton just jumped on there, looking great in that. Anna Marie Aja, who I talked about earlier. Lindsay Hellberg, I know that photo. That's the one I'm talking about, the best shot that was ever taken. Keep them coming. I keep seeing more people I know. Let's keep them coming down. Andrea Evans, you're one of our actual cancer warriors that are out there right now battling. You keep going, girl, and I love that shot. So let's get into what $100 would do. And Carrie Pena, who actually, I'll be honest with you, Carrie kind of has a golden rule because we all love her. It's not really her customary to fundraise, but you know what? She just gave $250. Carrie, I love you. I love you. Marsha Scott gave and gives a lot every day. What is about $100? So here we go. All right, this is my last level, and I'm going in for another health institution that I love. My life's hero, and the man that I would model myself most after, is the founder of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, Danny Thomas. Any of you that have seen me on a stage at any one of their events would know I love this quote. Danny Thomas, when he set out to fundraise for that hospital, said, "I'd rather have $1 from a million men than a million from one, because I need a million people involved." COVID-19 has done just that. We need millions upon millions of people involved. And I want to thank you for being a part of this, but this $100 push is probably my greatest challenge. I've sat in rooms with 1,000 people, in fact, Panda is a great example, and actually asked people to actually give out to a child, and 1,000 people, and 980 of them participated $100 and gave an extra $98,000. So please do this now. We're at 63,040. I need the push. This is the push. So while we're counting down, Judy's going to give me an idea of how much time we have left. I hope you're having a good time. I'm having a good time. I know Carrie's having a good time. I know Jeff is over there do as fast as he can. Michaela is. The photos are coming in. The teams. And by the way, let's take a look. Who's in the lead right now on these teams? Let's take a look. Is this SRP that's in the lead right now? Who's in the team right now? Is it Team Confidence with SRP? Or Team Family? Which one is it? Okay, let's update this page because here I go. I'm looking at a lot of them. I need to see which one. Tito's is in the lead right now. Team Tito's is in the lead at $13,650 with Team Confidence. That's showing some confidence, kids. Carrie Pena, all right, Stephanie and Ed Olson, thanks, $500. And Gabe Rushing, $100. You're exactly what I'm talking about. If 10,000 people go out and give me $100, well, hey, let's make it a big time give. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what? As we're wrapping this down, I'm just going to go out on a personal note. We're at $63,340 and climbing. But here's one thing I want to make perfectly clear. Look, we were all devastated. My industry's been devastated. This industry, we all went upside down. We did pivot, but we actually honestly panicked a little, but we did more pivoting than panicking. I want to say something right now as a personal person. This was a team that was willing to actually go out on a limb and do something that has never been done before. My right-hand person, Judy Yates, who's one of the best event planners in the world that went through this. For Dr. Linda and Dana Hansen, who jumped in with their fund duel and went in a completely different direction with it. For Carrie Dozer, who stuck by us every day. For Carrie Pena and Inspired Media 360 with this incredible opportunity to be in a studio that's COVID-19 compliant. For the entire Valleywise Health Foundation, especially a shout out to Jeff, to Michaela, to Marsha, to Kate. We couldn't have done this without you. To Anna Marie Aja that's out there. This has been a labor of love and definitely a leap into faith. And I want to tell you right now that Cam and Quinn Fassett and from Piggy Banks, literally from Piggy Banks, $25? From their piggy bank. Okay, so I just want to tell you that 2 little children just went in their piggy bank and actually got $25 and gave it. We're at $64,315, and we're coming towards the end of the duel, so this is where we got to push. This is where I got to tell you that the Valleywise is different, and the fact of the fund duel is that we just did this. We live streamed it. It's never been done. We're interactive with you, which has never been done. And this platform is a way that even if you're here with us today, and we invited you, and you signed up, you could turn around and tag all your friends on Instagram. I'm sorry, well, Instagram, actually just go put the link in your bio. We all know that. You can tag them on Facebook. You can tag them and put them on Twitter. You could actually just email it out to all your friends. What an ingenious idea, because what we're doing is sharing you the message of Valleywise Health and the Valleywise Health Foundation and the Arizona Burn Center. So as we're coming down now, about how many times do we have left? Where are we at? All right, we're wrapping up. 64,315, and I have no doubt that more will be coming in, and here's why. We've recorded this entire event, and it will actually be on YouTube forever. And so if you want to keep giving, you want to go to www.valleywisehealthfoundation.org and continue to support not only the COVID-19 crisis, but the ingenuity and the leadership and the caring that is Valleywise. Most importantly, a thank you to Dr. Linda and Dana Hansen and Fundul. Thank you to the whole team. You'll see credits at the end of this. And most importantly, thank you for taking a giant leap into history. And while I look at this duel and announce this number, remember, this is live, and there may be some numbers that go down and some numbers that go up. But here's the thing. All of those generous sponsors and our community, they also gave. So right now I'm going to ask that we add in that number on top of the $64,625 that continues to climb. And we're going to look at a number right now that this event that was not going to take place because everybody panicked, we pivoted, we didn't panic. And if you add in that total with that $64,625, Judy, how about that answer? And Fundul going to show me? We're going to add in what our sponsorship dollars were, and we are going to show you that we have actually come in at $165,625 on an event in 1 hour in your house with 5 or 6 of us here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making history. My name's Letitia Fry, and remember, Nelson Mandela said it best. It always seems impossible until it's done. And now to my friend, our fearless leader of the entire foundation, the Valleywise Health Foundation CEO, my man from his backyard, Nate Lowry.
Well, it's pretty incredible to have a little 9-year-old, now 10, Isabella, show us how to lead with love, courage, and faith in the hardest of times. And I know a lot of people are out there struggling right now, and it's pretty incredible that all of you have come forward to do so much this evening. Letitia, thank you so much. It's just a few weeks ago that we were intending to have a golf tournament, and it was canceled because of the coronavirus. And our fundraising went from just dollars to getting things like hand-sewn masks, N95s, face shields, all these things that I think no one ever expected. And it's been really, really challenging for our front line and a lot of people, the economy. I kind of come back to this little girl and her family, and how together they did so much to show us what we can all do in these challenging times. And it's just really, really inspiring. And so just a huge thank you to the McCune family and all of you out there that made tonight successful. It really is when we rise together that we can make beautiful things happen as a community. And so from the bottom of our heart at the foundation, just a giant thank you. And we look forward to seeing you in person, hopefully later this year at A Night in the Valley, and especially next year in 2021 at our next Night of Heroes.
The silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. We have each other, and for that we have each other.